Ukraine. All right, so let's catch up. Let's catch up. Remember this guy?
You got to settle. I would tell Zelenskyy, you got to settle. I would tell one, you're going to load up with money. I'd tell the other, you're not going to get any money. I would get a settlement in 24 hours. I will end that war in one day. It'll take 24 hours. I know Zelenskyy well.
Gonna give one side a lot of money.
I would get that ended in a period of 24
You can break that deal.
100%. It would be easy.
100%?
That deal would be easy. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
Settle quickly.
24 hours.
How are you going to do that?
I get Putin and I get Zelenskyy together. I know them both very well. Before I arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after I win the presidency, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It'll take 24 hours. You're going to load up with money. I tell the other, you're not going to get any money.
It was worse than that time I ate a burrito from a roadside taco stand.
Yeah, that's a long 24 hours.
It's a very long 24 hours. And you might remember, he was everyone, including ourselves, really marveled at this after years of this guy showing up in tracksuits and getting standing ovations in Congress. What a dress down he got in the Oval Office.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. You've allowed yourself to be in a
Apparently he was.
position, and he happens to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
You don't have the
With us,
cards.
you start having
Apparently you did.
Right now, you don't. You're playing cards.
You had something.
You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. Your country's in big trouble. Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
Apparently not.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong.
The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. You're either going to make a deal or we're out.
And a lot of people, again, ourselves included, we covered that. We said, all right. Well, maybe that one empty chamber in the gun is actually the one that's going to fire here. That was our equation with Trump. Like, yeah, who knows? With Harris, they're going to go all the way with Ukraine. Who knows? Maybe Trump will pull out. Here's Trump in August. This was about 6 weeks ago. He was talking about how Ukraine was going to have to give up some kind of land for peace.
Territory that's been fought over for 3.5 years with, a lot of Russians have died, a lot of Ukrainians have died. So we're looking at that, but we're actually looking to get some back and some swapping. It's complicated. It's actually nothing easy. It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both. And but we'll be talking about that either later or tomorrow or whatever. Yeah, please. Say it.
Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. Ukraine is ready for real solutions that can bring peace. Any solutions that are against us, any solutions that are without Ukraine, are at the same time solutions against peace. They will not bring anything. These are dead solutions. They will never work.
Well, obviously, so far.
Well, Trump just dropped this the other day. After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation, And after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, I thought we went out of NATO. What happened? The original borders from where this war started is very much an option. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Russia has been fighting aimlessly, if by taking 20% of Ukrainian territory is aimlessly, I suppose, for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger. When the people living in Moscow and all of the great cities, towns, and districts all throughout Russia find out what is really going on with this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed, and all of the other things that are taking place in their war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which has great spirit and only getting better, Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form, and who knows, maybe even go further than that.
Oh, yeah.
Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and this is the time for Ukraine to act. In any event, I wish both countries well. We will continue to supply weapons to NATO for NATO to do what they want with them. Good luck to all. Yeah, he got what they call the JFK call. He got that JFK call. Whistling a very different tune. Is this still what you voted for? Is this still what you voted for? You know, we have some audio of some of the Trump voters here.
This deal is getting worse all the time.
Yeah.
It sure is. It sure is, pal. Hold on. Wasn't it like 4 weeks ago that Trump said Ukraine would have to cede territory? Guy is a walking psyop. Yeah, so here he is with Macron.
It's been a terrible war. It should have ended, and Russia should have stopped it. But they've been 3.5 years, and they've gotten not so far. So we'll see what happens. But the other side can fight too, and they've proven that. Maybe it could be that Russia's a paper tiger. I don't know what they are, but 3.5 years of fighting and killing everybody, of killing 7,000 people a week for nothing. So it's a very sad situation, but most of you have seen the recent statement I put out a little while ago, and I'm glad you got it. But I feel that way. I really do feel that way. Let them get their land back. Yep. So we'll see how it all works out. And in the meantime, I hear Francis doing well, and you're doing well.
Yeah, how you doing over there?
And you've been my friend.
Meantime, how's things with you? Still eating that cheese?
How you doing? Just let's settle this. Does your wife have a schlong? Does she have a schlong? I've been watching Candace. She says your wife has a schlong. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I had a schlong contestant in my beauty pageant. It's fine. It's fine with me. I don't care. I don't judge.
How's it going? You guys still drinking the wine over there? You still like the wine and the chocolate and the cheese?
So God, I love the bread.
The bread. I like
there.
the crusty
it's
bread.
So good, the bread.
Yeah.
Anonymous. Whatever Ukraine has on Trump, good work. Yeah. They Epsteined him. Nick, I told people for years that Donald Trump wouldn't end the Ukraine war, but instead escalated and tried to sell the war to MAGA. All the libertarians who sold Donald Trump as anti-war, like Dave Smith and Ian Carroll, should never be taken seriously ever again. Yeah, man. Yeah, that whole Rescue the Republic event. And for that matter, the Madison Square Garden event. Tulsi goes up there, same one who called Trump Saudi Arabia's bitch, goes up there, sells him as the peace candidate. Well, you know, the two Nicks are in agreement on this particular point. Nicholas Fuentes. In just the last week, Trump called to reinvade Afghanistan, vowed to help Ukraine defeat Russia, and is currently pushing for regime change in Venezuela. And it's only a matter of time before Israel drags us to war against Iran again. What happened to no new wars? Yes, what happened to it?
That's
Well,
true. You know things are going to shit really fast when you forget that he threatened to reinvade Afghanistan. Like I saw that, but I forgot about that entirely.
Right. The shit's piling up too fast to shovel it out. But according to Trump, he's actually none of that's true. Nick's got it wrong, man. He's ending all the wars, and some very smart people believe he deserves the Nobel Prize.
Action. Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars.
So he completely reversed himself on Ukraine and encourages NATO to continue arming them. J.D. Vance months ago pointed out the hard time they're having getting enough recruits for their military. We did a story on this a while ago. The average recruit was up around 50.
Right.
You got a bunch of middle-aged men on the front line. Arming Israel's final solution, Trump Gaza, whatever the fuck he has in mind. But he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, according to Trump. It's all politics. It's all politics. They gave Obama one. Why don't they give me one? Which Obama didn't deserve one either. Don't get me wrong. But maybe the unkindest cut of all. And you want to see how dishonest the fucking podcast grifting conservative space is? They're all clipping this interview with Hillary Clinton where she said things about how the two people shouldn't point fingers at each other and attack Trump and attack MAGA. For some reason, they didn't clip this part of the interview where she praises Donald Trump's new posture.
I have to say, Joe, I welcomed what the president said yesterday. I thought that given all the back and forth that we have seen and heard at Anchorage and elsewhere, his coming to grips with the fact that Vladimir Putin does not respond to any kind of rhetoric. He only responds to strength. And you have to show strength, you have to back strength, you have to be strong in order to deal with him. And he poses a clear and present danger to all of Europe and therefore to the United States. And I think if what President Trump said yesterday is, if we help Ukraine can hold the line and may even be able to push Russia back. And there was a very interesting comment that Trump made in his Truth Social post. He said, what kind of military does Russia have? They couldn't even take over Ukraine. This has been a point I've been trying to make now for a long time.
Oh, well.
We overestimated Russia's military strength.
Can I ask you a question?
And now we're seeing that they can be pushed back.
Came, we saw, he died.
Yeah,
that's it. I bet when you voted for Donald Trump, you didn't realize you were getting Hillary Clinton's foreign policy.
Yeah, right.
Right? Nobody, is that what you voted for? You
That's
voted
amazing.
for Hillary Clinton's foreign policy? Yeah.
We've been trying
Trump,
to say this for years.
Yeah, no, she loves it. She loves it. Hey, we have always said this about Trump. Their real issue with him is that he rocks the boat in certain ways. He doesn't just put his head down and go along. He says a lot of times he'll say the soft part out loud on camera, like, yeah, we need the oil. We're going for the oil. Like, you're not supposed to say that part. You're supposed to say we're fighting for their freedom and that kind of shit. Even now, I promise you, even now, if Trump turns around and adopts all the deep state talking points and all the deep state politics and postures, I promise you the media will start treating him as an honored guest. All of it. You'll have Jimmy Kimmel up there praising Trump to high heaven for seeing the light and fighting for freedom. Even now. even now.
Well, sure. I mean, look, to a large extent, they already kind of have. Like if you take a step back, like it's tough to, because the news is so fast and things are so dire now. But if you take a step back, compare the media coverage he got in the first term to this term, he's getting much better coverage this term than he got from 2017 through 2020. A lot of that's because of Russiagate, right? Like that was just fueling this constant pile on. But I'm not seeing anywhere near the hostility from the media to Trump this time, and I think Israel has a lot to do with that. I think that's why you saw a lot of, these liberal Hollywood actors not really back Kamala to the extent they backed Biden or to the extent they backed Hillary Clinton, because there's this Israel question. And if Trump is good on Israel in their mind, then that's good enough for them, right? They may prefer Kamala Harris, but they're not going to have their hair on fire as long as he's towing the line on these big issues like this. And so, yeah, I don't sense like this tremendous hostility from the media this time to him. I'm not saying like they're not against him in general in their orientation. Like, yeah, CNN is still oppositional. MSNBC is obviously oppositional, but even the Morning Joe people, right? They went and they met him. They kissed the ring at Mar-a-Lago. When he sent the feds into D.C., they're like, I think we should welcome him and kind of work with him. I think Chicago should try and work. Like, you're not seeing the level of just hysteria that you saw last time, which is kind of ironic since I think this term is going much, much worse than the first term, but not in their eyes. Not in their eyes, because he's executing the foreign policy.
Yeah. Well, also remember, all of these people in the end are toadies to power. And this is why with a normal president, which even though his foreign policy is increasingly becoming normal by the horrific terms of the empire, George Bush, they treated him with great respect, even though it was apparent from the beginning that his brother rigged the election for him in Florida, whether you believe that's through actual ballots or just by throwing thousands of black men off the voter rolls who had the right to vote.
I believe it was both.
He lowered the standard for taking people off the voter rolls. Why did he do that? So it was rigged any way you slice it. As soon as the Supreme Court basically appointed George Bush president, the media shut the fuck up about it right away. Right away. I remember it was shocking. It was shocking how quickly they just went to Mr. President and started writing puff pieces about his banker hours and the way he runs his Oval Office. With Trump, in the end, the first time they felt like this is an aberration and they're still sucking up to power by opposing him, and our people are going to get back in and it'll all be good. Now he won a second time, and it's very clear that the Democratic Party is broken. And even if it regains power, it's going to be in a very different form that is going to be a kind of Trump light, just like it wound up being Reagan light and Bush light, what you'll get even if the Democrats come back in, because they're funded by the same people. And those people like a lot of what Trump's doing. Wait, you think the Democrats are going to come in and give you back everything Trump took away? No, they're going to tell you they're trying.
They're trying.
They'll have their Kristen Sinema or their Joe Manchin to blame.
Right.
On the fact that they can't give you a repeal of Trump's policies. They don't want to be out in the cold, man. They don't want to be out in the cold. So they're kissing his ass. And, they can no longer feel that the power base is going to hold that they used to rely on for their careers.
Right. And I think that is a big factor as well.
Please clap.